This is not like church. This isn't like church where the pastor says, I got some good news and I got some bad news. The good news is we got all the money we need in this church. We got all the money to do everything we need to do to get the message out. The bad news is it's still in your pockets. This isn't that kind of a speech. I want to say personally, it was nice of David. I want to thank you, Dave Thompson. Thanks for your service. Thanks for your friendship. I know you and Rhonda have a great opportunity, and Jackie and I and everybody here, we wish you the best. But please remember that no matter where you are, you will always have your friends here in Minnesota. All right? So, before I get started, lest I forget, the only reason that I really am standing up here, the only reason I'm able to do the things that all of us are trying to do together is because of the best friend I have in the world and my greatest supporter, although I'm still working on trying to get her vote for November, Jackie Emmer, who's standing over on the side. I want to thank everybody who worked so hard to make this convention possible, and obviously, thanks to all of you, everybody in this hall. Thanks for taking the time to be here today. Thanks for your commitment to the grassroots. Without you, we don't have a party. Without you, we don't have a real opportunity to change where this country is going. We must never forget, freedom is not free. We must own it, we must fight for it, and we must never rest. As Reagan once said, we are never more than one generation away from losing our freedom as we know it. I believe we must fight today, perhaps harder than at any time since our nation's founding. Our nation is under attack, and not just by foreign enemies who seek to destroy us, but from within. By an executive who has no regard for our Constitution, by socialist professors embedded in our universities, by a judicial system that legislates from the bench, and by elected officials who fundamentally want to change our country, and by the equally dangerous and ignorant elected officials who are quietly walking us down the path of our demise. Remember what Benjamin Franklin said, "We have given you a republic if you can keep it." We must remind our government where the power comes from. As our founders recognized, the power comes from God. Yeah, thank you. Every man, woman, and child is endowed with certain inalienable rights from our Creator, not from the state, but from our Creator. In the interest of creating a civil and free society, the founders of this country gave the state, our government, permission to do certain things. The primary function of our government? To protect the people. And how was that permission granted? By a constitution. And what does that Constitution say? A government by the people, for the people. If we're going to preserve America and American exceptionalism for generations to come, it's about getting our government at every level to honor its contract with we the people. In short, it's about the Constitution. That's something that we should be for. Our Constitution guarantees an equal opportunity. I'll say it again. It guarantees an equal opportunity, not an equal outcome. When applied properly, it protects our right to self-determine and to achieve our greatest potential. Instead, today we have a federal government that pretends to have the authority to force top-down, one-size-fits-all solutions on every state. A federal government that believes you and I are not capable of making the correct decisions for ourselves. And we, the people, we are upset. We are uneasy and we are angry, and rightly so. Sorry. I don't have that, whatever that flair is of the inevitable candidate on the Republican side, but it is about being angry, and it's about making sure that we all recognize our government is stealing our freedom and the promise of a better life for our children. Yeah. We have a government, we have a president who governs like a king. and an oversized, bloated, and oppressive government that takes what it wants, when it wants, without regard to its citizens and our constitutional rights. A staggering national debt not becoming of a decent and honorable people. And by the way, I'm going to slow down because Jackie said, Tom, you got to smile once in a while. Everybody's going to think you're really angry. But I am. And I'm not afraid to tell you, we should be a little angry. And that's why we should all be uniting to work to win this election. What the progressives offer on the other side is not an option for this country. And it's not an option for our kids. The national debt that we have accumulated in this country is the consequence of selfish and immoral behavior of a political elite that prefers to steal from the future generations rather than to live a disciplined, moral, and just life. And we, the people, we want it to stop, and we want it to stop now. The election this November is our chance to make a difference, to put this country back on track, to make it great once more. 2016 is going to be a big fight. Since Minnesota will be without any statewide candidates and being a presidential year, we have a tough hill to climb. But we can't let Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders take Minnesota for granted. To succeed, we're going to need everyone, all our congressional and legislative candidates, and all Republicans across this great state to do their part. We saw great success in our Republican legislative races last election, in large part due to the people in this hall today. In the 6th, we won our congressional seat by 18 points. Our margin last cycle, thanks to the 6th district. Where are you? Yeah. Our margin last cycle was the largest in the 6th congressional district that we have seen since by a statewide or a congressional candidate since 2002. And I assure you that we in the 6th will carry our weight again. And we're going to help candidates not only in the 6th, but all across the state of Minnesota. But this election, it's going to take all of us, every one of us, if we're going to succeed. It is vital that we band together to support good candidates and institute a strong grassroots all across our base to get our people, Republicans, to the polls to ensure a successful year. This year, we have the opportunity to pick up multiple congressional seats, some that were so close to victory in 2014. I'm confident we can do it. I hope you are too. Yeah. There got to be some Stuart Mills fans in this room. There got to be some Jim Hagedorn fans in this room. I can tick them all down. There got to be people here. You showed up. You know what the fight's all about. Now it seems, as I'm going to wrap it up here, that we're told every election